Hi, Matt Noyes, Coastal Marine Forecast. Always like to do this on a weekend for you on the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network. So this is a Friday recording, but we're going to take you out all the way through Labor Day. As of Friday, water temperatures don't change much day to day, right? In fact, they haven't changed much week to week. When you get along the eastern Mass coast, 65 to 70 degree water, definitely your warmest of the year last week and this week as well. We're talking about water temps still over 70 at the south coast, still sitting with a cool pool at Nantucket Shoals. And then when you get farther to the northeast, a more pronounced cool pool that's been around the northeast channel. But we're kind of used to that. The cold water's been in place for a little while out that way. So what does it mean? It does raise the chance of fog banks a little bit over the weekend. We don't think there's a whole lot on Saturday morning. There may be a shower in southern New England. By the way, in terms of showers and storms over land, it's a different video. It's already out. It's the Insights video that you want to check out for that. But notice the fog banks that may develop coming off of that cool water east of Nantucket. Even as we get into Saturday afternoon, more humid air comes in. The humidity only increases more Saturday night and Sunday. So what you're going to find is you'll find that fog expanding all the way up to the Maine coast by Sunday morning. Notice also the wind on Saturday starting to increase. This is sustained wind. By the time we get to Sunday, it's out of the south-southwest. You start out with that fog in a number of spots, and then showers are in the forecast. Actually, we think from especially Boston Harbor southward, not only do you have showers in the morning, which a lot of us have, but in the afternoon you may generate some new showers and thunderstorms. While the coast of Maine, you'll probably have some showers around, not only from some downpours and thunder Saturday night, but leftover showers on Sunday morning, and then you dry out the deeper into the day that we go as a cold front approaches and comes in from the north and west. But out ahead of that front, it gets pretty windy. That's going to kick the seas up. Mostly it's going to be short period chop type stuff. But it's pretty significant. It's a pretty decent wind wave, and we'll take a look at that in a second. We get into Monday, and the wind does die down, but it's a brand new fall air that comes in. And then by Tuesday, you've got a fresh breeze, but again, it's not that bad unless you're going to be out on our fishing grounds when you get, let's say, south of Nova Scotia. So how does that impact the waves? Not too bad on Saturday. Again, you saw, though, that you're getting some spots. I showed you they have 20-knot winds. So, you start to get a 2 to 3 foot chop, but really it's as we get into Sunday that it's not just a chop. I mean, it's a wind wave that's going to be on the order of about 4 to 6 feet, perhaps in some spots over the Gulf of Maine a little bit more than that. And then by the time we get to Monday, I think we're still talking about just kind of slowly bringing it down, and then it comes down a little bit more even as we get into Tuesday for nearshore coastal waters anyway, still 4 feet when you get out along, let's say, the northern flank and then running up through the northeast channel. In terms of what's going on for us locally, if you're going to be close to shore, south coast Saturday, this is generally your 1 to 2 foot wave, and then when you start hitting your blue, that's going to be your 3 and 4 foot wave, and that's going to be around Nantucket. Notice what I mean about, the breeze is kicking on Saturday, but really it's Sunday that you start getting this sustained wind of about 20 miles an hour or so, and that does make a difference too, right? It really churns things up more. On Saturday, you've got a south-southeasterly wind coming into Cape Ann, Boston Harbor. It's at about 10 to 15 miles an hour, a little less than that when you get around Joppa Flats if you're doing some fishing out in Newburyport. But then notice by Sunday, Joppa Flats doesn't pick up much, but you do get it out over the water. And actually, these, again, remember, are wave height. So near shore, you got 1 or 2 foot sea. You got 3 to 5. And then when you get out over the Gulf of Maine, that green on Sunday is a 5 to 7 foot sea. Saturday's not that bad in the Gulf of Maine. But by the time we get to Sunday, you'll see there's that expansion of that 5 to 7 foot sea area that shows up in green. So just a reminder, if you haven't done it already, a lot of folks are really loving that you could do this. If you grab our app, right, set the location for any coastal town near your favorite offshore spot. Then once you've saved the location, hit the 3 dots next to it and choose pinpoint. You can then actually pinch and zoom the map and put it your favorite offshore spot. It could be a lobster pot, could be your favorite fishing spot. We had someone that wrote in this past week from Monhegan Island off of Maine and said, it's not there in the search, what do I do? I said, just find that coastal town in Maine, then put your pinpoint out there. All of a sudden, voila, you can get it for any part of the island you want. All right, that's the way it looks for now. Have a great Labor Day, and of course, we'll keep you posted at 1degreeoutside.com.